Well, for the Laramie Plainsmen, second straight week back on the road. David Sutter from KOWB alongside Laramie head coach Clint Reed. And coming off, well, really it was an ugly game last week for your squad. What have you done to regroup, kind of get things going back in the positive as you get ready to go back on the road, Clint?
You know, the biggest thing that, with all the formations that we saw last week, just our alignments and our assignments. And not being prepared in that way and being able to adjust to it. So we slowed things down a little bit this week, took a lot of mental reps with different things with aligning and what our assignments are and what we need to be doing.
Coming off such a good win in the opener to last week, I mean, obviously I'm sure the guys from a mental standpoint are a little bit up in the air. You get a sense of hopefully the type of team you'll have just from a mental standpoint Friday night?
Yeah, I mean, you could see the frustration on everybody. I mean, from players to coaches to parents, trainers, community probably. I mean, you go from one level to the next level as far as a high and a low could go in 2 weeks. But again, we emphasize, one win didn't mean anything and one loss doesn't mean anything. It matters what we do this Friday against the Camels.
Speaking of Gillette, what do you know about them? What do you kind of expect in this matchup?
They're not what they have been in the last couple of years even, or even the last 6 or 7 years. They've been more of a spread team. They're kind of more in a pro set with two backs, quarterback under center, and things of that nature. So you're going to see a little bit of that. I think the coach has taken over there now. Has taken a little bit of a playbook out of his days during his playing days years ago. We have a former Camel on our staff who kind of knows that playbook, but it doesn't matter what the plays are. Like I said, related to last Friday night, it was alignment and assignment, and that's what we focused on. Regardless of what formation, regardless of what they play, we need to make sure that we're disciplined and execute that.
How big is this game, though, to at least kind of get that good feeling back and to get you one on the road? Obviously, we haven't had a lot of big road wins, but to get one on the road is always critical, as you say.
No, as you mentioned, getting one on the road is important because you got to be able to win in both places, home and away. And as low as we got last week, and I think the guys, they want to focus, and we need to focus as a staff and as a team. And it would mean an awful lot to go in there and do the right thing.
For you guys, do you adjust much playbook-wise, or do you feel like these kids are starting to really grasp what you guys are throwing at them?
I think they're grasping what we're throwing at them. We always intended to slowly have an install through the year. You always want to adjust. And so we always knew that we had two good backs in Sell and Nunn. And it had nothing to do with last week against Rock Springs. A lot of times if something good happens or bad, something that you make changes. It's kind of like the quarterback thing when me and you talked about. It was always in the plan to be able to phase in different things. And this week, we always had an idea of putting two backs in the backfield sometimes. So you're going to see a little bit of stuff with both those guys running the ball in the backfield, trying to get them involved. We have some different formations where we can help out the line a little bit because when we play bigger teams, we struggle a little bit. So you'll see a little bit of a tighter formation once in a while with a guy closed down, for a six blocker. You'll see some bunch and things of that nature. Nothing different than you see in any other teams. It's just slowly phasing it into our system as the season goes along.
It's one of the few 7 o'clock kickoffs this season. That's going to be a little bit different. It truly is going to be under the lights. There's no doubt about that. Not a lot of daylight left. So a 7 o'clock kickoff from Camel Stadium in Gillette as the Plainsmen take on the Camels. Join Aaron Lozano and myself in the broadcast. We start our coverage at 6 o'clock Friday on KOWB. You can listen on your radio through the free app in the App Store or Google Play, depending upon the type of phone you have. Or you can listen online, Amazon Alexa-enabled devices, Google Home devices, different things like that. So the Plainsmen at the Camels. Camels looking for their first win. They're on a 21-game losing streak. Plainsmen trying to get back in the win column and get to 2-1 on the season. We'll catch you Friday night, 7 o'clock in Gillette.